Should hormones make your life a living hell? I mean, have you ever felt like you're throwing a hormonal temper tantrum where 1 minute you're on top of the world and the next minute you're in this cookie-induced meltdown or eating French fries 3 times a day? I'm Dr. Heather Yost, and today we're going to uncover those sneaky little culprits behind hormonal imbalances, from the foods you eat to the stress you meet. We'll decode the mystery and help you regain hormonal harmony. So grab a comfy seat, get a cup of tea, a pen and a paper, and let's talk about how to get your hormones back in line. So there are 5 causes of hormonal imbalances that we're going to go over today over the next, say, 8 to 12 minutes. Number 1, I want to talk to you about a poor diet. I hate to be the bearer of bad news and bring up the food that we eat first. And I know you know this, food really is fuel. A poor diet is really one of the leading causes of hormonal imbalances and something that you can start to shift today. The reason why poor diet is going to impact your hormones is, 1, because of nutritional deficiencies. If you're not getting the essential nutrients, vitamins, minerals, things like magnesium and zinc and healthy fats, it can impair hormone production, so the making of those hormones, and then ultimately the regulation of those hormones. Now, another reason poor diet is a problem is high sugar intake. When you eat a lot of sugar, it leads to insulin problems and disrupts hormones. So let me explain how this works. When you are eating food, all food breaks down into glucose or sugar. Some foods are just a little bit more efficient at it than others, like a donut versus an apple. So when you eat that food, it goes from the gut, it breaks down into glucose or sugar, goes from the gut into the bloodstream and acts like shards of glass. And what that does is that triggers the pancreas to release insulin. Now, if you're constantly triggering the pancreas to release insulin, that excess insulin is going to now act like a fat storage hormone, which we're going to talk about high body fat and why that's a problem. And then it steals from progesterone. So as women, we need a balance between estrogen and progesterone. If we steal from progesterone and have excess estrogen, that imbalance can cause a myriad of symptoms, from problem sleeping, low libido, mood changes, irritability, rage, cycles being off, and hot flashes, and the list goes on and on. The other thing about poor diet that gets in the way is processed foods. I know they're easy, and I understand your life is going to be a lot easier if you have these processed foods, but ultimately the processed foods are going to lead to more problems and cause more issues, which is going to take more of your time. So putting a little bit of time into a good quality diet, preparing your food, trying to stay away from those processed foods, get to the outside aisles of the grocery store makes a huge difference, because the processed foods have unhealthy fats, they have additives, they have chemicals that can really negatively impact your hormonal health. So if it's in a box, if it has shelf life, we want to try to stay away from it and make it an exception to the rule. Now, I had said we would talk about high body fat, and excess body fat, particularly around the abdomen, it doesn't just sit there. It is metabolically active. It can produce estrogens, which lead to imbalances. So the more fat you have, the more estrogen you're producing. The more estrogen you're producing, the more imbalances you have in that estrogen and progesterone. And obesity is linked to insulin resistance. That's a condition where the cells of your body, which are the smallest building blocks of your body, those small cells, they become less responsive to insulin. Now, if they become less responsive to insulin, the pancreas is going to produce more of this hormone, and this vicious cycle just continues. Your hormones should be balanced, and when any of them are imbalanced, they're going to lead to additional imbalances in other ones. Like, everything in your body is connected. Your body is an ecosystem. Number 3 is stress. Probably the easiest to pass off because it's a silent saboteur of hormonal balance. We can't measure it necessarily or always. And when you're constantly stressed, your body produces excess cortisol, and that we can measure. Cortisol is a stress hormone, and high cortisol levels, because you're constantly building up cortisol, it can suppress thyroid function. Why? They use the same building blocks. So if you're constructing 2 buildings, but you have a limited number of resources, building one goes up faster, it's going to take away from the production of building two. That's like your thyroid and your adrenal glands. So when you're constantly like running from the bear, so to speak, because you are stressed out, you're going to be building up all of these adrenal hormones and suppressing your thyroid function and sex hormones as well, which can lead to things like problems with fatigue, weight gain, mood swings, fertility, libido. And over time, this chronic stress, it can exhaust those adrenal glands. They can only keep up with the rat race so long, which can result in adrenal fatigue and further hormonal disruption. Now, number 4, we're going to talk about endocrine disruptors. Our environment is full of endocrine disrupting chemicals like BPA in plastics, phthalates or parabens in personal care products, and pesticides in organic produce. I mean, we have never had so many chemicals and additives and problems with endocrine disruptors as we do right now. They say the average female puts on over 200 chemicals on her body before she leaves the house in the morning. And these chemicals can mimic or interfere with your natural hormones, which lead to imbalances and various health issues. So start to look for products that say paraben free, phthalate free, go organic as much as you can, opt for natural alternatives, which can absolutely protect your hormone health. Now, number 5 is medications. Now, certain medications can throw your hormones off balance. Hormonal medications such as birth control and hormone replacement, they directly alter natural hormone levels. So the only thing that birth control pills are good for is to control your reproductive cycle so that you don't get pregnant, but they do not balance your hormones. So if you're on a birth control pill because you have heavy periods, cramping, clotting, hormonal issues, remember those birth control pills, all they're doing is controlling birth. They are not balancing your hormones. So if you're having troubles with your cycle, there is a root cause to that needs to be addressed, not overridden by suppressing it with birth control pills. Other medications like those for blood pressure, mental health, pain pills, they can have indirect effects on your hormonal system. If you do need to be on a medication, please discuss potential side effects with your healthcare provider. If you're on a medication and you're concerned right now that it potentially is affecting your hormones, don't just get off of this medication. So let's recap what we've covered. Hormonal imbalances can be caused by a myriad of issues, from a poor diet to high body fat to chronic stress to exposure to endocrine disruptors and certain medications. So thank you for joining me on this journey to understand the cause of your hormone imbalances. Remember, small steps can lead to big changes. You don't have to slay the dragon. You don't have to do all of these things today. You want to choose one thing that will stick. So if you found this video helpful, please don't forget to subscribe. What that does is it tells YouTube that you want to see more videos like this, and then as we have new videos that come out, you'll get a notification. You're also welcome to visit my website for more holistic health tips. Book a consultation if you'd like. We do the initial consultation at no charge, no obligation with one of our functional medicine practitioners. These things are hard to figure out on your own, especially you go to Dr. Google and you could find 50 different things that you could do. So we want to make sure that we're understanding your unique needs. We're getting to the root cause of what's happening with you so that you can live a balanced life. So here's to balanced hormones, a healthier, happier you. And until next time, please stay vibrant and balanced. I'm here for you. Have a wonderful day.